So I'm curious, what's the Foley family tradition? Are you guys opening presents on Christmas morning or Christmas Eve?
We are a one or two present at Christmas Eve family, and the rest Christmas Day. We usually take a break. By the way, the only late night Christmas Eve visit I made was to the family of legendary guitarist Richie Blackmore.
Okay.
So Richie's children got to see Santa do his thing, and Richie's wife texted back to me and said, "It was so cute. Rory usually never curses, but all he could do was say, holy, holy, holy," because he couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Right.
So the idea is, this is can I talk a little bit about evolution of Santa? It
Please.
does involve WWE.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I will be an evolution to where you will realize why hearing that one kid was saying holy is as rewarding to me as 15,000 people chanting my name. All right, so we're going to go back to December 24th, 2012, 10 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Even though it was filmed a few days beforehand, because even Vince McMahon isn't going to have us working on Christmas Eve. I had agreed to be part of this movie, I Am Santa Claus, and Tommy Avalone, the director, was following 5 real bearded Santa Claus throughout the year to see what these gentlemen do with the rest of the year. The truth is, it's not always pretty, but to a person, they all look forward to that time of the year where they can make that difference, where they can be that guy, where they can feel that love that is sometimes lacking in the rest of their life. So I was going to be the newcomer, right? I'm going to be the rookie. And Tommy said, you don't have to grow your beard out. The other guys do, but you don't have to do that. And my beard was coming in pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was coming in pretty good. And he sent me a photo of a Kentucky Santa who looked outstanding. And he goes, some of the best Santas do not have beards much longer than yours.
Wow.
So as I go to the mountains of New Hampshire, I realize that I'm going to have my debut at not the Santa who shows up and wrestles JBL in front of the troops, although that's great, right? Every year I was proud to have done that stuff, and I was Santa on WWE one time, and I gave Hornswoggle the ability to talk, and that was a great promo for me because that was the last time me, Dusty, and Roddy were all together, and there was a photo taken of us, or a clip from that video, that I really prize. But this was the first time that I'm going to try to convince children that I am the guy. And I realized the night before we do the debut at Santa's Village that putting a beard on, just putting on a theatrical beard, that's not good TV. So we have to make the transformation. So I entrust a low-budget documentary team, none of whom has any experience in the hair business, with a bunch of dangerous, painful chemicals to turn my dark beard white and my hair as well. So this stuff starts burning, right? Like they said, all right, so tell us what the pain level is on a level, 1 to 10. It's 2, 4, and then after about an hour and a half, I just said the word 9. They said, what 9? What? I said, we're up to a 9 on the scale of 1 to 10. Like, it's really burning, really burning. You pay a serious price. A lot of people do. To my daughter's credit, when she bleached my beard for the A&E documentary, it was the first time my beard I didn't get burned.
Wow.
In 2013, there was so many crusty, scabby things going on underneath the beard. I don't even think parents would have let their children sit on this scabby Santa's knee. But that's part of the price you pay. And then you exfoliate, you got to saturate that with the aloe vera and all that, and you're okay in a couple days. But there's a definite price to be paid. And brother, I was paying for it that night. Huey went to sleep. Huey was just zinging me one after another. He's holding up my Santa pants from my new suit, and he's going, Dad, are these going to fit you? I said, yeah, it should. He goes, I don't think it's going to fit. He said, Dad, I can fit my whole body in here. Like, just lots of little things that he just, zinger after zinger, and then the little fellow falls asleep. Good thing is, I don't think he wants to see Dad suffering like that. We finished the beard. Now we start the hair. And I had the long hair at that time, like down to the shoulders. I'm so glad I tried it, but it was a complete failure. It just turned shades of orange and yellow. Like, we're in a business where a lot of guys bleach their hair, right?
Yes.
Maybe I should have one of them do it, but one shot, it probably would have needed 3 or 4 shots, and plus it just destroys your hair. And so I was good with a wig because at least I knew, at least I tried. And I have to tell you, when I went out there the next day, Huey was my elf, and he said he was a little nervous. I said, don't worry, I'm nervous too. Beautiful day, it's snowing outside, picturesque, couldn't be any more beautiful. And Conrad, the first moment that little fellow sat on my knee and I saw in his eyes the magic of Christmas, I thought, ooh, like, this is something I'm going to want to experience more often. And I kid you not, the first thing he said, and this is in the movie, you couldn't write this. I said, and what would, and I learned, you whisper. You don't overdo we learned that in A Christmas Story, right? And it's been explained to me that if you imagine this visit through the eyes of a child, you're telling a child that he's going to make this long walk to approach somebody in a regal wardrobe who decides at his sole discretion whether you're worthy of toys. And now you're going to greet him with an overbearing, oh. It's a whisper, right? So, what would you like? Carson, I think his name. What would you like, Carson? He goes, a ball. And I said, oh, I think we can do that. I've got my North Pole elf here, and I've got that kind of pole. Is there anything else you'd like? Of all things he can say, he says, another ball. So I said, oh, I think we can do that too. And I catch myself, right? I don't want to get into any double entendre. I said, 2 round athletic spheres. And it was just such an incredible experience. I only did it for 2 hours because they had no idea how I was going to fare. Colette came in with Mickey and Huey, and Mickey and Noel, and they couldn't believe the transformation. Like, it really felt like I'd earned it. I really felt like I'd earned the right to wear that suit, and I've always taken great pride in it. So now here comes the wrestling stuff, right? I know this is going to be the worst, lowest rated. Just tell me if this comes to religion. Lowest rated, because when I was tweeting out in 2014, my Santa wardrobe, I did it every day and I started losing followers on Twitter. And my kids were like, Dad, why are you losing followers? I think it's the Santa stuff. He goes, you don't think they care? I said, I think they care for 1 week. But the rest of the time, it's like, that's not why we're following.
Well, it's December 23rd.
Now it's just, okay, December 23rd, we're in the Christmas season. So last week I spoke glowingly of Stephanie McMahon,
yes.
Right? It surprised you to hear that, right?
Well, because we never do. It feels like there's always just criticism to go all around. We never hear nice stories about Stephanie.
Stephanie's the best. So I'm waiting for my wife, who's got a lot of great qualities, but promptness is not one of them. And not only is time, it's essential, but the biggest reason it's essential is you don't want to be leaving, you don't want to be in the mountains at dusk because that's when the moose come out and it could be an accident. So I'm thinking our lives, like I want this to be a safe ride. She's at least 60 minutes late, maybe 90 minutes late. And so while I'm waiting, I think I've got one shot, the one photo of me and Noel. It looks such a great photo. I've got one shot. I'm not going to badger WWE. I'm going to send one text and see what happens. So I decide to text Stephanie McMahon and I say, ho, 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 from Jolly St. Mick. Stephanie gets back and goes, this is incredible. Is this you? I said, you can see I'm trying to hold in a sneeze, right?
Is this you?
Is this you? And I said, would you like me to be Santa for Tribute to the Troops? She said, hold on. And then I get the word back, yes, they would. And then like a few days later, I get a call or a text saying, would you like to be Santa on our Christmas Eve episode of Raw? And you can tell the respect I have for Santa, right? But the idea of being on Raw in front of millions of people, it's going to be my second ever Santa appearance. Millions of people. And then I do get the word that Santa is going to be run over, presumed to be dead. And I fight with that in my mind. Like, I don't know if this is what kids need to be seeing on Christmas Eve, but I'm going to be seen by millions of people, right?
Yes.
So I go, and I'm very hesitant about it. Very hesitant. And the idea is, it was a thing of beauty, right? Triple H, this is one of the biggest lies I've ever told in my life, is they're looking for someone else to fit into the suit because I'm on the no-hit list. And I don't want the idea of Brodus Clay or any guy sweating in my, this is a beautiful custom-made suit, right? Retail $3,500, $3,500, right? They donated it for the shoot, and it's still mine. $3,500. I can't have Brodus Clay sweating in this thing. And Hunter goes, "Yeah, there's no way you could do this without getting hurt, right?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I can do this without getting hurt. Get run over by a car. Yeah, no problem. But to make it extremely safe, I don't get run over by a car. I essentially walk into a parked car." So this is the magic of WWE editing. Here comes Del Rio and his driver. They come out. I'm handing out candy canes and little gifts. And then when I turn around, I walk into a parked car. And it reminds me of the exploding ring in AEW and in IWA, because I went through that same thing where the explosions didn't go off, and the crowd simultaneously, like, they fart on it.
Right.
For about 3 seconds. But to my credit, I didn't just walk into a parked car. I walked into a parked car as hard as I could and did $750 of damage to that BMW.
Car?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I took a legit bump over the top of it as if it was the stair steps. A good bump. You're looking at it now, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have some video representation for folks to see.
And the coolest thing was, I felt it when I took that bump. I felt the disappointment because to everyone there, I just walked into a parked car. But as soon as that tree fell over, which did open up a legit laceration just underneath my cheek, I think the crowd there in Pittsburgh, where I have some history and they have some respect for me, all simultaneously realized this is the only place in the world you can see Santa run over by a car.
It's true.
And they got with it. They started chanting, "You killed Santa." Del Rio gets out and he's concerned, which is a good way to sell it. I think originally they wanted him only concerned about his bumper. And then what Ricardo Rodriguez does is a thing of beauty. He is just forlorn. He is so devastated that Santa has taken this hit. He's almost throwing up.
He's almost in tears.
I think there's a spot on his mantle. Look at the little fellow. He's heartbroken.
He is.
He is so heartbroken, and even Del Rio's selling it like, oh, this wasn't supposed to happen. They take Santa, take him away, and as we're doing this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure this is what I was supposed to be doing, Like, I'm not sure this is the way to help make the season bright. It's not until I'm in the trainer's room and I hear Booker T give the speech to the assembled WWE superstars and Miz. Nothing? Okay, and Miz? All right.
I was expecting the Buff Bagwell line.
He
works every time, though.
And here it is verbatim. You ready?
Ready.
"I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Santa's down, and it don't look good. But before Santa lost consciousness, his last words to me were..." Now, what would his last words be? Make sure the children are not disappointed, find a way to deliver the toys? No, not in WWE. His last words to me were, "Alberto Del Rio will be in a fight tonight. A Miracle on 34th Street fight match." And that's when then I think Cena yells out, "St. Nicholas is a saint," which is stating the obvious.
Yes.
But I think, and I speculated, the reason he went so over the top is knowing he has a young fan base.
That's a wink.
He's a wink and a nod. And then he's, "Let's do it for Santa." And he pumps the forearm that Popeye the Sailor would be envious of. And I thought to myself, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. So Santa came back. He came back. I shouldn't have hit Ricardo with the bag of toys, or I should have put. I put the stocking on Del Rio, but I wish I'd hugged Ricardo
because he was nervous for you.
He was so nervous. He did nothing wrong.